Subterror? Where in the world did you come from? I haven't seen Subterror perform remotely well in a long time. What was that? Verti Anaconda Red Eyes Fusion days? Don't think the 30% of you guys have not smashed the ever-living crap out of that subscribe button. Smash it so we can climb up the 100K ladder here. Your breakdown for the South Carolina Regional is here. 328 players entered into the dueling chamber here to kind of show us that some interesting things can happen here. Flounder ended up winning this event. Not really surprised about that. Birds have... The meta shifted at the point that, like, Flounder is just like the deck that is annoying top tier competitive players, and they just don't have outs for it. Like, it amazes me that players get frustrated in this matchup. Get good. Just beat the bird, 5-head. We also had 10 Yi Swordsel. Coming in 2 places for this. Obviously, Nibiru has gained a lot more momentum right now. And you know, anytime that Nibiru is going to be in the format, Swordsful is going to just kind of check out. Because the minute you go, you know, Mo Yi into token, into Chizao, Long Yun special token, you get choke pointed out right there. And you're just like, what am I supposed to do? Like, it doesn't matter how good at this game you are, you auto lose at that point. Unless you have, like, a lot more gas, or you can make, like, the Chow Fang. You just struggle. We also have Cyber Angel, Drytron, of course. We had Dragon Link. Okay. We had another Adventure Punk Eldritch list. Now, kind of looking at things, I've noticed that, like, it's just basically based with, like, a small Eldritch engine. Because the Eldritch engine just generates free chicken tendies with, like, the occasional, haha, I'm 3100 body that you can materialize on the field. And then, of course, we had one Subterror deck in Top Cut for this event. And like I said, Subterror out here getting the chance to have some recognition, you know what, I'll clap for it. I think that's a good thing, ladies and gentlemen. And then we also had an Adventure Plunder Patrol. There's just kind of something about Plunder Patrol that makes you very excited at the end of the day. So overall, this regional breakdown's kind of nice. Let's pass on over for deck list. All right, the first deck list we're going to be looking at is our winning Flunder list. And yes, that's Jack in the Hand back at it again. There's been a couple of other regionals where we've seen Jack in the Hand kind of come up as a option tree for this deck, which is actually kind of interesting, ladies and gentlemen. You love to see it. I think it's the appropriate term for this. We're also on double Lightning Storm, double Dark Road, no more in here, which is a lot of, you figured you'd go for 3 of this, but I guess having the 2-2 split of this ensures you can see an extra copy of this. We're also on 2 Book of Moons, and we're also playing double Stormwinds. I understand the want to play the double Stormwind, to be perfectly honest with you. Like, being able to materialize and set up the second Stormwind to laugh at your opponent is freaking hilarious. Or, like, so many players will just have an issue. They'll out the first one, they'll be like, haha, and then you board wipe them back, and you reestablish another one, and they're screeching the entire time because there's no way for them to handle the second copy of this. So, interesting things for 500. Next up here is our 10 Yi Swordsel list. Alright, so I guess it's safe to say at this point, in terms of Swordsel innovation, that we have started to cut Vessel. Looks like triple Heavenly Dragon Cycle is going to be the big push for the remainder of this format, because the more and more list I'm starting to see for this, Heavenly has just been like the GOAT. We are playing the one Synthana. Synthana looks like it's become normalized at this point. Triple Monk has also become pretty normalized, and of course we're playing double Droll and Lockbird in here as well. I also do like the 2 Chalices. I guess if you really wanted to cut the Chalices and play Vessels, you could, but I don't recommend that. I feel like you're just kind of detouring away from what your deck wants to do and see for more subpar card choices. And I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh! Players do love their subpar card choices, but don't do that. Leave the chalices in here. Next up here, we have our Drytron list. Ooh, we are playing the Magic Key Unlocking. I've seen this show up in side decks, and I've seen it in main decks. But when your opponent activates a spell or trap card while you control a Magic Key Ritual monster or a Magic Key monster special summon from the extra deck, negate that activation if you destroy that card. Then you can declare an attribute, and if you do, for the rest of this turn, all face-up monster opponent controls become that attribute. Not a lot of shenanigans that you can do with that, but it is in fact something that can come up. But hey, free Omni negate's pretty good. Or excuse me, free spell and trap negate is pretty good. And then, of course, Dark Rulers to board break. Double Metania's Drytron in here. I have noticed that a lot of these builds have been wanting to see double Metanias. If anything happens to this, like Evil DD Crow swoops down from the sky to, bully and take this away, that kind of just falls on its face. They have to, like, rely on the Zeus game plan in order to do something. So that's definitely something to kind of take away from this. Next up here, Dragon Link. First of all, we're not playing the Adventure package in this deck. As of late, Adventure Dragon Link has become the more go-to build of things. I guess it makes like the deck a lot more streamlined, and you get a little bit more advantage. Technically, actually, easier synchro ladders too, because all you can do is you can get a free special summon, you can tune out with it and climb up into something else. Like if you're playing a level 1 tuner or something, it's just easier access. So to see that an actual pure Dragon Link performed very well, I'm actually very impressed with that. This is also the second time I've seen the Dragon of Armageddon show up in Dragon Link as of late. A lot of people just cut this, but now seeing that this card is back in terms of rotation, this adds a lot to the deck. I think a lot of people underestimate like the value you get from this card. Give this card a shot if you're a Dragon Link player. I think you won't regret it. Next up here, another Sword Soul list. Now, this is where things get different in terms of the deck building here. So this is the double Heavenly, the double Vassal. This was the more regular approach that we've seen. Like this has been like the standard all format. Like so many people were just on the 2/2 of this. And as I said, we're starting to see the 3 Heavenly now kind of overpower the rest of this. You also see here that we are playing the triple copies of Forbidden Chalice. Chalice is just kind of a free negate for this deck. Versus something like Droplet's going to take your resources from you. I mean, I guess you can offer up some of your 10 Ys, but that just means you're not getting the extending capabilities of those. So that actually kind of hurts. But yeah, Chalice is really good value. 42 cards, by the way, is fine. We're also playing the 1 Sacred Summon in here. Hey man, getting a free Monster Reborn is always amazing. I see we're citing the Nibiru's in here, which is fine. This build does have a very big reduction on hand traps. Just 3 Ash and triple Imperm. The deck still did top, it performed, but little things you notice. Next up is our Eldritch 60 card pile. Now, we have I don't know if you guys have noticed, but like your bare bones Eldritch engine just lately has just been triple Conch, triple Scarlet, the 1 Hugwero, the 1 Golden Turd, and the triple Cursed Eldlands. Like, they have just pretty much scraped out all of the dead weight for this build. And of course, you get to see things like the Ghost Mourners here to do their full job. I mean, hey, having triple Veiler, triple Ghost Mourner to punish the opponent feels absolutely good. Especially when you get like the extra ping effect here. Especially like if time is coming up or like a certain life points matter. Like, amazingly, this card can close a game in and in itself. So the really weird things that you notice with these little combo decks for 500. Outside of that, I don't see... The extra deck is very standard. The Lina Revive, I guess, is kind of interesting. But you can tell, like, in terms of, like, the side deck here, they're just choosing for more of the punishment things. I guess the other thing is, like, no Necworld Banshee, but it's fine. You still have Zombie World. Next up is our Subterror list, and it is Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. But, of course, if you were expecting this deck to not be sporting off the best monster that it ever had in its existence, yeah. So Subterror still exists on the game plan that it wants to basically slow down the game state here. Of course, Guru, Fiendus being able to kind of detour the opponent and punish them is what you want. And of course, you get to hide behind Floodgates and then some attack modification here. And then of course, D-Barrier just shutting out 2 of the 3 best decks in the room right now is just kind of free real estate at the end of the day here. And yeah, I know we are playing Mystic Mine and Necro Valley, actually. Necro Valley is just a hilarious card in general. Like, if you watch this card resolve, a lot of players are going to struggle because anything that would try to touch the graveyard, no. No fun allowed in that regard. So yeah, kudos to Subterror. You love to see control decks out here actually do their job. Not too bad. Then next up here we have Plunder Patrol Adventure. So game plan for this deck has just been the same as per usual. Just climb up, set up your big package here, and then ride your ships to victory. I see we also are playing Psychic End Punisher in here. I feel like that's more of a recent innovation here. Yeah, Golden Hair plus Griffin Rider technically does get you to the Psychic M Punisher. So little things you notice for 500. Outside of that, there's not a lot else to mention for this event. If you guys have any deck lists and things that you've performed well with, please reach out to me on social media. Obviously, all my links are down below in the description. I love to hear from you guys, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later on the day with a lot more content. Peace out, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.